Okay, so today I'm going to make a simple video on how to understand these bracelets. Now, in many videos I talk about how to understand them. This video is for the people who do not or does not understand basic simple of science. So I'm going to go even further to help you to understand how these bracelets works in a normal term. I talk about a motor. These were made on the principle of a motor. Inside a motor, it has a coil just like this. Okay? Inside that, they have two wires coming in, positive and negative. Okay, and notice how they actually even put the red here. So that's positive and negative. It goes inside a coil. It goes into here. When you try to understand electricity or positive and negative charge, they always find somewhere to go. They cannot stay. That's what's good about electricity. The only way for it to stay is when they put it in a battery. So they basically, what they call it, amp. So they're actually amping it in, or pushing it in. Pushing is amp. Push it into a battery. And that's how a battery is able to contain an energy. Well, in this case, it's not like that. They just made a coil inside. They put a magnet around. What happened is, the positive and negative will go in. They stay in the coil. Then they make a little thing here. In the end here, if you open it up, you'll be able to see them. It kind of touches together in the center. And you know, well, positive and negative, they attract to each other. When they attracted to each other, they made a little spark, because that's when they fuse. And when that happened, this spins a little bit. And each time that does, it spins a little bit. When that spins, the coil, just like here, have a magnet. The magnet would expel the energy. And that's where the energy actually lost. The fuse is actually where we get the fusing. Okay, what's what they call it, fusing together. When they both come together, that's what they call, the world called fusing. That's what basically is of this bracelet. Now I'm going to go even further to teach you how to understand how we actually going to use the bracelet to remove that out of our body. Before I move further, when that happens, when this thing spins out, there's a lot of energy loss. They're all around here. When this spins, you're going to see a lot of them around here. And yes, you can get a meter and measure that. That is called a loss. You have to remember, energy cannot and will not able to do anything unless you fuse them together. But when you fuse them together, they burst out into a spark. During that spark, you're going to see a lot of energy with the energy lost with it as well. And that's why if you run this long enough, the motor will get hot. The hot is what the energy loss is what making the motor hot. Okay. So now, I'm going to show you something very simple. Now, what happened when I designed this bracelet? Well, when I designed this bracelet, I had the same thing like the motor in mind. And I said, what if you're able to expel it by using this? Same principle. But I'm going to reverse that around. Now before that, I knew that negative charge will always attracted to metal or iron. That's what it's attracted to. Positive always attracted to copper. And that's why they use a lot of copper. And copper is actually really expensive because of that. And that's why if you buy a roll of this and you buy a roll of that, you will see the difference in prices. Okay? Now, furthermore, I'm going to go into detail about that. And I'm going to use these balls. Now, imagine these balls travel through here. Okay? Actually, I only need one bowl. This is your coil. I was going to put them into here instead, but okay. So when you put it on your hand, these balls attach it to here, and this is our coil. It will go into the coil. And it continue to go into the coil. Pretend that's your body. You keep on absorbing. Always, until it's full. How would you remove that? If I didn't give you anything, how would you remove that? Throughout human history, they did not understand, or they do not understand, what our body actually, what it does. And you're going to hear it from me first. Our body actually absorbs radiation. And you are going to learn this later on. Our body always absorbs radiation. The lowest form of radiation, the body doesn't know how to fuse. So it actually stays in little particles like this. And that's what they call particle. Now scientists and physicists around the world started to recognize that it's actually a wave. It's actually in particle form. And yes, with this video, you will understand that it is actually in a particle form. A wave is actually a particle. Each particle. Yes. The more wave, the more particle. The more particle, the harder it will become. And yes, this applies to what the Chinese call yin and yang. And I will explain that in other videos about yin and yang. But in this video, I wanted to make it really simple for people to understand. So now this is your body. It always absorbs, but it takes a long time for one leave. When you exercise, you actually can release it through exercise. And that's why after exercising, people feel really good. And yes, I will be the first human in history to explain that as well, what exercise actually does. If you are a runner, if you run 5 miles, and if you are a runner, you know exactly what I'm talking about right now. If you are a runner, you run 5 miles. During that time, you sweat. But it's not the sweat. You are actually creating a magnetic field discharge. Yes. Your body actually absorbs all these, and it stays inside your body from the sun. Remember, everything comes from the sun. Okay? Not only our food, not only our water, our food actually absorbs positive and negative ions or charge. Same thing with water. Okay, and you know this for a fact. They always water down nuclear disaster with water. Why? Well, you already know why. Now, because of attraction. Now, so now we have bunch of them in our body. If you run, you're able to get them out. And that's why a lot of people feel good after they actually run for 5 miles or 10 miles or even 1 mile. The more you have, the more you need to expel. But here's the problem. What if the people don't run? What if the people don't exercise? They always said exercise live longer, right? Well, I'm happy to report what I have invented going to help you live longer. Huh? Oh boy. And I said, oh boy. So now let's get back to your body. You got a bunch of these in there. How would you remove them? There is nothing in the world until now. And I said that in a very firm statement. There is nothing in the world to remove these until now. And yes, just like I said, I am very proud that I have invented this. And the day that I die, I will be known for this. I will be known for other things too, but I'm going to tell you this is going to be one of them. Now, so how would you remove that? If I don't give you anything to remove it, there is nothing in human history until now, like I said, until now, that you are able to remove this. So pretend the spoon is the bracelet. Now you are able to scoop it out and get rid of it. When you scoop it out and you keep scooping out, your body will get lighter and lighter and lighter. And it will be better and better and better. Okay? But here's the problem. We're going to run into a problem here. Let's say I removed it already. We're going to run to another problem. We're going to run into Bluetooth. We're going to run in 5G, 4G, 3G, whatever. Anything that I always said, anything that is over 800 megahertz, as far as I know, anything that is over 800 megahertz will hurt us. Or temperature. I'll teach you that later. And in my last video, I show a rainbow. And I stated in that video, the rainbow was actually trying to teach us something all of human lifetime. And they have not figured it out yet. I will show you what a rainbow is. And yes, within 2-3 seconds, you will understand what a rainbow really is. But that's another video. Okay? I will link it up here when I make that. But this video is about this. So when you get 5G, 3G, 2G, whatever, anything over 800, you're filling your body back up again. But wait a minute. We just removed it. And remember this, and remember me, and remember this video. I always said it's about 5 to 6 hours for the body to remove this as an average. And that's why we sleep. I will tie that later, okay, in other videos. It takes about 5 to 6 hours for these to disappear. But here's the problem. It keeps on attacking. So you're actually filling more of your body, and that's why our body aren't able to take it or absorb. Remember, I always choose 2 words, absorb and breathing. We are actually breathing these in, and our body's actually absorbing these in. We breathe in smaller particles or weaker particles. Our body absorbs stronger particles. And that's why when 5G came, a lot of sickness started to come because of that. We are just absorbing and breathing. Okay? Now, And that's why a lot of people, if you notice, a lot of people are opposed to 5G because of that. But there's no videos or anything like that to explain something like this in further. So now you are filled again. But wait a minute, 2 minutes ago we were able to remove it. If you didn't have this tool, or you didn't have this bracelet, you are filled again. You're going to wait another 8 hours just to get rid of this. I mean, I'm sorry. 5 to 6 hours to get rid of this. But during that time, you are getting more bombarding. You can run for miles and you won't be able to get it out. But all you need is a few of these. 15 to 20 minutes, you'll be able to feel it. Make it. And you will see what happens. Many people, read some of the comments. I'll post some of the comments right now for you. They said a lot, it's always about energy. Everybody getting extra energy. Okay, so now you see a bunch of those comments. What are they using this? What are we doing? We need this because every time we are bombarding, we need this. Without this, there's no way the body will be able to survive. So, I gave you a bracelet. Now remember, pretend this is a bracelet. You are able to scoop it out. And that's the easiest way to understand what I have created. I have created a spoon for you so you can scoop it out. That's it. Throughout, like I said, throughout our human history, no one have created this spoon or a bracelet for you to do it. Well, good news to the world, I have done it. And that's the easiest, quickest, and best way I can explain to you how these things actually work. And during that time I am talking to you right now, this whole video, I am being bombarded at the same time. Right now I don't have it on because I'm giving my body really relax. Normally I would wear this little one because I'm helping it. And yes, sensitive people can actually feel this. When they put this on, within about few minutes, you'll be able to feel its effect already. Me, around 2 minutes. Not even. And if someone's actually wearing this, and when I touch them, I can actually feel my energy leaving as well. Not energy, it's just my body starting to feel better. So, that's what basically is. 5G, 3G, 800 megahertz, TV, satellite, Bluetooth, all the wireless stuff in your house, blah, 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 blah. That's all it's doing. It's just filling your body. And what would you do with it? You can't do anything to it. Unless you have something like this to remove it. And yes, when I made this, oh my, I was jumping up and down and I got tears in my eyes. You don't even know, for 3 days, just a little story, for 3 days, I don't know how grateful I have invented something. You don't even know at that how my thing was. And yes, I promise, this bracelet will change the world. And that is a promise. No one actually make videos like these and say that they promise you that something like this, so simple, will change the world. And furthermore, not just this, I actually invented the opposite of that. And that's when I knew, when I invented this, when I reversed the coil, that's when I knew what I have discovered. And I am telling you, this bracelet right here is very simple. But I promise you, it will change the world. It will change the world. How the world going to look at these little things right here. And it will prove to the world that these things are hurting our body. Because look, this is your body. You can't remove it. I already told you how to remove it. But you can't remove it. But now you can. Because I gave you, pretend, like I said, I gave you a spoon to do it. Now you are able to scoop it out. And that's the simplest thing that I can explain to you. And that's all there is. I invented a spoon for you to scoop it out of your body. Best way I can explain it to you. And it's as simple as that. Without this, there is no way for you to remove that. It will just stuck in your body. And like I said before, and I'll say it again before I go, it takes 5 to 6 hours to remove them. But during that 5 to 6 hours, you are being bombarded again and again and again. Every single milli of a second, you are being bombarded. There is no way. You'll be scooping forever. But there's nothing to scoop because no one have invented. Well, good news for you. I have invented a scoop to help you to remove it. And that's the easiest, quickest, simplest way to explain how the bracelet works. Okay? Other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video. But most importantly, I hope you learned something about your body and what is actually hurting all of us, all of our lives. And we don't even know it until now. And yes, scientists and physicists going to visit these in the future. I promise. I promise. Because I have invented something. Other than that, that's about it on this video. I will see you in the next video.